What's up everybody, you're very welcome along to Monday Night's Late Night Agenda here on the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. I'm your host Craig and you're very welcome along to the show. I don't know what it is, but every single time I start the show I have this little routine where I go through and I say the same things and then I clasp my hands. At no other stage in life do I ever clasp my hands. I've no idea why I do it at the start of these streams, but I can't help myself. I say to myself before I do it every night, Craig, don't clasp your hands, pal. Just don't do it, don't clasp your hands. And then I go into my spiel and then here I am clasping my hands. I'm a failure, folks. I am a failure. How are we? How the hell is everybody doing tonight? I can see lots of people in the chat already. Vinny, O-Dog, John, Graham Holmes, Brian Morrissey, LFC Gamer, Sean Pragmaverts, Fun Game and JC20, Awfully British, The Revenite, NJ. So many people, Greg Duffy, so many people in the chat. Guys, how are we? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Look, you see the rumour, you see the thing, we will talk about it, don't worry, we'll talk about the Salah stuff. You see it in the headline. I'm sure most of you wonderful people know what it is already because like me, you've seen it on social media. We'll go through it though, we'll have a little chat about it. We'll talk about the Reds heading off to Marbella for a little bit of warm weather training. We'll talk about the Wolves-Newcastle game. We'll talk about everything Premier League related, everything Liverpool related. We'll talk about the fact that Chelsea are an absolute bunch of frauds. And anything else? Anything else you guys want to talk about? This is your show, so you always let me what you want to talk about. Let me know what you want to talk about. But firstly, hello. As always, hello to everybody. Mr. Boye, how are you, sir? Great to have you in. Paul Turner, Will, everybody. Great to see you. Great to see Gary Neville is responding to your tweets on Twitter. Did he? I don't know. I haven't even fucking looked. Did he do that? I saw that Neville replied to your tweet and then Carragher shut. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. Do you know what? I'm getting my phone. Wait there. There you go. I don't even know. This is live. I didn't know this. I'm having a look now. Bear with me. Sorry. This is all a bit crazy, I know. Let me see. Probably about 50 million replies here. I'm scrolling through Twitter, scrolling through Twitter, scrolling through Twitter, scrolling through Twitter, scrolling through Twitter. I didn't see anything. I've seen nothing here, so bear with me. There. Sorry guys, this is shitty live stuff, but I'm trying to find this reply from where's my little moan about Gary Neville? There he is. Oh, this is crazy. I didn't know any of this. I didn't know any of this whatsoever. Fuck, I wish I had been on there with a tore him apart in a nice way because I respect Gary Neville, but that's absolutely nuts. I did not know that I was going to be out. That's the first time I ever tag anybody in a post. There you go. Whoops. Sorry for anyone who's tuning into the show tonight expecting it to be good. Sorry, I just didn't know that Gary Neville had responded to a couple of tweets and Carragher jumped in, but there you go. Anyway, look, let's get started. The Reds have announced a 31-man squad for the training camp in Malaga in Spain. No, Marbella in Spain. Joe Gomez unfortunately will remain back at Liverpool because he's got to work on progressing back from this injury, unfortunately. But the squad that did travel for the Reds are Fabinho, Van Dijk, Wijnaldum, Lovren, Milner, Keita, Firmino, Mane, Salah, Alisson, Henderson, Sturridge, Moreno, Lallana, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Simon Mignolet, Shaqiri, Brewster, Robertson, Origi, Matip, Phillips, Jones, Hoover, Woodburn, Carragher, Camacho, Alexander-Arnold, Christy Davies, Whelan and Lewis. There you go, a nice big 31-man squad. All the way over to Marbella for a little bit of sun, a little bit of warm weather training. Yeah, there you go. I still haven't seen Gary Neville's sweep, by the way, for those of you who are saying it to me there in the chat. I'm flying through it here trying to find it really quickly. Oh, look, somebody pulled out the victim card. You always get one of those people, don't you? Okay, where is he? I can't find it. I still can't find his fucking tweet. How mad is this? I must have Gary Neville fucking muted or something because I can't find any of his tweets. That's hilarious. I can't find a single one of it. I'm good everybody. How are we? Trent on the comeback, which is great to see as well. How mad is this? I'm going through every single fucking reply and I can't see his tweet. But he must have because there's Carl Clements there, blah blah. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Let me go and see. Jamie Carragher. Oh, there he is, yeah. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant stuff. That's great. Didn't know that. Well done to Gary Neville for actually replying to a tweet. How is everybody? Hitting the big time, Craig. If Carrot and And Neville's getting in on the tweets. That's the first time it's ever happened to the account, actually, Claire. Never had any of the... Because I never tag people in tweets. It's not something that I do, so I've never had anybody jumping in and replying. So there you go. That's the first time, I think. That's the first time I've tagged one of the players or ex-players in a tweet. Because I don't really believe in stuff like that. I was only on a bit of a wind-up to see if I could bait people in. I didn't expect Gary Neville to reply. But there you go. I hope somebody from the account replied to him. Maybe October did. Maybe Charlene did. I don't know. I haven't looked at it all day. What happened to your podcast? Why didn't you start them again? Mickey Robbo, excuse me. We made the decision to move everything onto YouTube, because we just wanted to be more interactive with people. And whilst I love doing podcasts, as you know, it's my background, I just felt when we came onto YouTube, it gave us that interaction where we could talk to people in real time. We could get their thoughts on specific subjects, and we gave people more of a chance to come back at us. Because when you do a podcast, you record it, you do out your agenda, you put it out there into the world, and you hope people dig what you're doing. Sometimes they do, sometimes you don't, but it's very hard to grasp. What we found is when we came onto YouTube, it gave us that immediate response from people, and it's made the world of difference to us. We've got to talk to a lot more Reds, and we probably will get back, but it might be a video pod going forward, but we probably will do an audio as well. Craig, people forgive the Torres. He joined and forced to move to China. I hate him. Fuck Torres. I'm going to try and not curse so much on this stream tonight. Sorry. There we go. Look, you're all in here for one reason and one reason only, and that, well, apart from the fact of my devilishly handsome good looks, obviously, he says, laughing at himself. Right, sorry about Salah. Let me just get straight down to it, because that's what a lot of people are here for. Where is it? I'm just going through my bullshit folder. I actually have a bullshit folder on my laptop. I'm not even joking you. I have a bullshit rumour folder. Right, so Russia Today are apparently reporting that Juventus are putting together a £197 million bid to lure Mohamed Salah away from Liverpool and over to Turin. Now, look, how have they got the money? A lot of people are asking. They're giving Aaron Ramsey 400 grand a week. They've got Cristiano Ronaldo there. Well, apparently they're not happy with Paulo Dybala and his form there since Cristiano Ronaldo arrived. So apparently they're looking to move on Dybala and free up money now. Obviously they're not going to free up anywhere near enough for that amount that they're talking there. But £197 million, it does come from Russia Today, so bear with it. I don't know how true this is. Other journalists, I say other journalists like I'm a journalist, I'm not. Journalists have actually said that these people have got other stuff right in the past, not football related stuff, but they're not getting them. That's all I can say. There's no way they're getting Mo Salah. But it got me thinking. This is my bullshit rumour of the week, but it got me thinking. Does every player have a price? Does every single football player in the world have a price? And what would Mohamed Salah's price be if Liverpool did decide to ever... I want to cash in on him, because that makes him sound like... It doesn't give him the respect he deserves. Mohamed Salah deserves immense respect because he's a beautiful human being and I love him to death. But if every player's contract has a price, what is Mohamed Salah's price? Is 197 million a fair price for Mohamed Salah in this market? I haven't got a clue. It's so hard to measure it. If £197 million was smacked down on the table tomorrow, would you take it? Would you take it? Honestly, yes or no, let me know. It's tough to answer these questions. It is. Normally I'd go, fuck that, no way, not a chance. But 197 million, it's a lot of money. I'd still say no, but it makes you think. It does make you think. Man City Alfie said, I can't see Liverpool turning 200 million down. 170 million for Boya. Juve don't have the money. You never know how many of those Ronaldo shirts they're after shifting, though, that's the thing. Good evening, Swifty pal, how are you? It's probably true in the sense that someone at Juventus has put this out. Maybe, there always is that. Clubs are looking to big themselves up, and just linking themselves to the world's best players can sometimes make them seem a little bit more desirable or a little bit more marketable, so that is a good show. I think it was Pedro that said that. Pedro, good show. We'll take the Dybala from them, but we're not giving them Salah. He would be ideal, to be fair, Tom Jones. He would be ideal to play in that pocket for us. We've said that a few times, and a couple of people like yourself have mentioned it as well. Dybala would not win games like Mo Salah can. I agree, but I don't think anybody's trying to say here, Erika, that it would be just a swap deal. I mean, like, Dybala isn't worth half of a Mo Salah, in my humble opinion. And if you're valuing Mo Salah here at 197, just call it 200 million to round it up. You know, you're probably going to have half of that left-ish by the time you got Dybala out there. So I just wanted to get people's thoughts on it. My immediate reaction is, nah, not a hope. But every player probably does have a number. And if Jurgen Klopp had a chance to reinvest that for a player that he spent, what, 30 36 if memory serves correct. Am I right? Somewhere around that. For Mohamed Salah, maybe 38 million. I can't quite remember how much he cost. Sam Mullen, how are you, pal? How are you doing? Guys, first shout out of the night. Welcome to everyone that's in. The chat's moving nice and quick tonight, which is always good to see. The Reds aren't playing for 10 days, but we're going to keep on plowing through for the next couple of nights anyway. If you're watching and you want to help us out or you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10k and our next stop is 8,500. We're only 46 subscribers short. So please, if you're out there and you haven't subscribed yet, please do hit that button. It makes the world of difference to the channel. A lot of people saying 500 million. Prez said he's selling for 400 million. Origi's underrated. Come on, mate. He's not really. We know you love him, and I'm not going to call you down for it because I love you, but come on, he's not. Salah worth 125 million, said Will. It was in the 40s, Pragmaverts. I don't know if it was that high, pal. I think, well, look, either way, I thought it was around the high 30s, but look, in or around 40, let's even go to that one. Inaloco said, I'd take the Dybala and 115 mil if they offered that. Claire said, our front three only just signed new contracts. They ain't going nowhere. I agree, Claire. I don't think they are going anywhere, and I don't think that this is a real offer. I'm just saying, with regards to players, does everyone have a price? I think they do, is the honest answer. I mean, we know that Liverpool generally don't put buyout clauses in players' contracts, so it's not like a club can just come in and trigger something like what was the case with Neymar. PSG were able to go in there, throw down whatever it was, 250 odd million on the table or whatever the hell it was, and get him out of there, 296 or whatever that ridiculous amount was. Gavin Maloney said, hello Craig, just won my cup final 3-2, I scored a late winner, love you, up the Reds, mate, wet in. Is this a real cup final? We're not talking FIFA shit here, are we? But either way, congratulations Gavin, and to score a winner, pal, wow, that's a memory you'll never forget, buddy. Congratulations to you. Can you shout out my mate Nick Gore, who introduced me to your streams? Of course, Nick, welcome. Welcome to everyone that joins the chat. Nick Gore, thank you for introducing someone, or Gore, excuse me. Thank you for introducing someone to our stream. Everybody who comes to our streams is welcome. Well, we try to anyway. Our front three only just signed new contracts. They ain't going nowhere, said Sam Webb. Sam, are you and Claire the same person? I'm only joking, but that was pretty much the same response. And I love it. I love that we're so balls out here and saying, no. They've signed new deals. They ain't going anywhere. They're our boys. Salah needs to work on his first touch at Inaloco. Mbappe for Salah, thoughts? Honestly, mate, hand on heart, I love Mo Salah. But if Mbappe for Salah's on the table, I'm taking it. I'm taking it, mate. And here's why I'm taking it. He's got the next 15 years ahead of him. He's got the next 15 years at the top level ahead of him. As much as I love Mo Salah, I think Mbappe has a higher ceiling. But that's probably one of the only players in the world that I would consider that for. You pretty much throw anybody else at me there and I'm shouting you down and saying, no, I'm keeping Mo Salah. But Kylian Mbappe, that's a pretty damn fine player right there. Sell Sturridge for 40 million and buy Mbappe. Well, Sturridge's contract is up in, what are we in now, February, March, April, May, June, 4 months. So we won't get anything for Daniel Sturridge. Please do Dr. Eva Pinky and say $1 billion. I hope that works, Dan. I gave it my best, pal, but my accents are absolutely shocking. Contract ain't worth the paper that they're written on, said English Mastiff, and we've seen that proven time and time again. Once a player makes up his mind, no matter what the club does, any player, most of the time the player will, if the money is on the table, will get their way and the player will get the move. Again, none of us are saying that Mo Salah is looking to get out of Liverpool, don't get me wrong. This is just more a starting point for a conversation around if footballers have a price and if everybody is available for some number. 670, I don't know how many fucking zeros are there, Ben. There's way too many for an idiot like me to work out. Crack? You smoking crack? Salah better player and on 25. Than who? Than Mbappe? I would respectfully disagree, Will, if you think that Salah's better than Mbappe. And as I said, Mbappe is probably the only player in the world that I would have considered that for. No need for Mbappe. I'll tell you what, imagine adding Mbappe into that team, just dropping him right in there, pulling Bobby back into the 10, putting Salah through the middle maybe, and putting Mbappe out on either side. I mean, come on, tell me you wouldn't like that. I would. I mean, that's almost pornographic stuff right there. Firmino and Salah rumour, what's going on? What Firmino rumour? Red Tick Game. I didn't see a single rumour for Bobby personally. When Salah leaves or retires at LFC, I'll cry. I think he won't be the only one. He's loved by everyone, including myself. I mean, how could you not love a gentleman like Mohamed Salah? Somebody else said, I'd take Mbappe over Salah. So would I, if I'm being honest. He's probably the only one. I'd take Neymar over Mbappe. Nah, that's silly, mate. For me, that's silly. Sorry, I should just say for me, Dylan, that's silly. I'm not a fan of Neymar. I've made that known many, many times. But look, each to their own, buddy. I'm trying to become nicer, more humble, Craig. This is what clubs league to try and unsettle players, but I don't think it'll work with Salah. Pedro, I'm with you. Mohamed Salah seems like a very grounded, down-to-earth, lovely, humble human being. If Mo Salah is probably over the moon where he is. He signed a new contract. He's at a club that's going places. I agree with you, Pedro. And clubs do try and do this. And PSG tried to do it with Fabinho and stuff before the Champions League games. Real Madrid tried to do it last year before the Champions League final. You're right. It happens time and time and time again. But you know what? I wish we'd do it more. I really wish we'd do it more. Particularly within the Premier League. I mean, why shouldn't we be putting a story out there saying, yeah, no, we're strongly thinking of going for Harry Kane. If it's 200 million, it's 200 million. But do you know what? Fuck it. We're thinking about it as a club. Just put that out there. Doesn't even need to come true. Just put it out there into the media and say, oh yeah, no, we're serious about that. Yeah, definitely. We're looking at him strongly. I mean, he's the next big thing. He's England's #1. I mean, Liverpool needs a player like him at the club. Just put that shit out there, man. Just unsettle players. It used to happen all the time in the English league, and I don't see enough of it. And I like a bit of shithousery. Fun game in Craig. I live in Dublin. Lovely stuff, mate. Beautiful city, as you know. I'm from there myself, but no longer living there. People have no true news. It's fake. 170 million. Again, the whole point is that it is fake, mate. Nobody's believing that this is true. All of us think it's most likely bullshit, but at the same, it's just a conversation around, does every player have a price? So we can probably steer away from Mo Salah in this conversation and just talk about, do players have a price? Like, let's take, for instance, let's move away from Liverpool. Does Kevin De Bruyne have a price at Manchester City? Does Paul Pogba have a price at Manchester United? Does De Gea have a price at Manchester United? Does Richarlison? Nah, he's shy. What am I messing about? Nobody wants Richarlison. No, but seriously, the likes of Pogba and anyone, pick a player in the world, do they all have a price? Now, I know some countries are different in that you will have a built-in contract or a clause that people can just go in, throw the money down on the table and go, bing bang bosh, job's a good one, and head off. So love to know your thoughts on it, guys. And I do have a lot of stuff to get through tonight, but this is your show. Roberto, just the man I was hoping that would pop in. How are you, sir? What's your thoughts on this, buddy? Your fine, humble establishment of a club that is Juventus Football Club, linked with a £197 million move for Mohamed Salah. Thoughts, Roberto? I'd love to know your thoughts on this one, buddy. Robbie Fowler was going to Arsenal every year, said Dave Sweeney. Your hair is growing nicely. Thank you. Charlene, did you see the whole stuff on our Twitter account? Somebody had to point it out to me because I haven't been on there today, really. I tend to just post and disappear. I don't even look at the comments. But yeah, Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher replying to our tweets today, which is a first for the account. Always a bit of fun. Why would Juve want Salah? They've got Ronaldo, Dybala and Cuadrado. If you were listening at the start, COD Lover, I'm not sure if you missed the start of the stream or not. I'll go back over for you. So Russia today are reporting that Juventus are putting together a bid of £197 million to try to lure Mohamed Salah away from Liverpool and over to Turin. The reason being that they're not happy with how Paulo Dybala has done since Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at the club. They don't believe that he is up to scratch, and they're willing to sell him and to try and bring in Mohamed Salah to replace him. So there you go. You've stated that they have Cuadrado, Ronaldo and Dybala. To be fair, mate, Salah is better than all of those, probably. And the reason I'm throwing him ahead of Ronaldo there is purely because of Ronaldo's age. I mean, if you're going back to Ronaldo a few years ago, brilliant. And even now he's doing bits, don't get me wrong, but you know, if you were looking to the future there, you could understand perhaps. Salah probably is an improvement, especially on Cuadrado. I mean, to be fair, Cuadrado's very hit and miss. Neymar is my idol, has been since I was 6. I'm now 14. Dylan, I don't want to disrespect a man that you love, pal, or a man that you look up to, so I'll leave it at that, buddy. I just hope that he follows Messi's lead and he takes that work ethic from Messi, because Neymar has all the skill in the world, pal. All the skill in the world. I just don't like his antics, but that's a personal thing. What did you say? What did Rat Boy say? I think he said, calm down, mate, it's only February. Something along those lines, Dave. I haven't looked back at it yet. I just glanced at it just to see the comment. I think he said something like that. I think I still have it open actually. Bear with me one sec. It's a bit disrespectful for me reading out Rat Boy. He said, relax and stop being so jumpy. It's only February. I think Carragher said, hope you're telling Salford to do the same after losing to bottom of the league on Saturday. And then Neville said, oh, can't wait for this next 3 months. So there you go. We've triggered the two of them, which was a bit funny. 210 mil and Dybala for Salah for me is way too much. Hang on a minute, Roberto. No, it's 197 million. And Dybala isn't included in the deal. It's just a straight 197 million. And that Juventus are trying to sell Dybala to part fund the move. I don't think he's included in anything to do with Liverpool, mate. Yes, Lee LFC, Cara and Gary Neville both replying, which is cool. Really good fun. I know, I feel like such a fanboy. This is the first time we've ever had any reaction from anyone like that. Good stuff. I'll put the fear into Juve by threatening to deep fry their pizzas if they even go near our Mo. Oh, don't be doing that, Charlene. No need to be deep frying pizzas. My favourite food in the world. Loving you, hair growing, Craig. You'll have hair like Firmino next. It's getting there, pal. I mean, look. She's getting there. She's getting there. Bit by bit. Still a few little light patches up the top, like. It is thinning out. This is the first time in about 8 years I've grown my hair. It's thinning out. I can't deny that. But there's still fucking hair there. I'm doing alright. Diet Chav. You know it, pal. You know it, baby. It's always here. Is this fake news? Yes, Gary. 99% I would say this is complete horseshit. But it's just sparked me into a conversation to talk about players having a value. That's all. I was never taking this serious. Even if you can see the Juventus and Salah image there beside, at the bottom of it, it says bullshit rumour. Because that's what I think this is, a bullshit rumour. Was that on your Twitter? Yes, it was, Liam. It was on the Twitter account. What pizza do I get? I'm really boring, buddy. I'm just a plain cheese man. If I'm feeling really adventurous, I'll whack a piece of ham on there when I'm putting the order in, but that's it. I'm so boring when it comes to food. Did you see Cara singing Allay Allay? I didn't, Stephen, but I'd love to have seen it. I love Jamie Carragher, I do. We all dream of a team of Carraghers. He's one man I'd love to actually sit down and have a conversation with. Not to record it, not to put it out there into social media, right? And just as a conversation. I've had small words with him at meet and greets and stuff, but never a proper conversation. Roberto said it's fake news, but I'd love to see Salah at us. I don't think we need him. We have an insane attack, and I don't think we need Salah as much as a world-class player as he is. Thank you very much, Roberto, for your input there, buddy. A man who, of course, has his finger on the pulse at Juventus, being a massive Juve fan. 100% they can't afford it, as I think that. I mean, where are they going to pull out 200 million from? They've already got Cristiano Ronaldo there. I'm sure he's on a good wage. They're giving Aaron Ramsey 400 grand a week, though. Can we have a little talk about that for a second? Roberto, if you're in the chat as well, mate. Now, I know Aaron Ramsey's going on a free. I understand that. And I know that the 400 grand, some of it will be in place of the fact that he's not going to probably take a big, massive signing on fee. They're going to push that out over the course of his contract. And somebody raised a fair point on Twitter. They said, this could be a very smart move by Juventus. They could take in Aaron Ramsey for 1 year, pay him his 400 grand a week, and then sell him and probably get the amount back. I think it worked out at about 18, 20 million, something like that, on wages. Sell him and then get their money back. Interesting stuff. I never thought of it that way. We should get Cara and Neville on this chat. Imagine. But I can't be a hypocrite. I've always said time and time again, I've no interest in interviewing players or managers, which I don't. I just thought it was fun that they responded. On here, it's all about you guys. It's all about fans. This is the fan channel. We only want to talk about fans. We only want to talk to fans about the club that we all love. Tom Jones said, I really want Jadon Sancho, such a bright future. I'm keeping an eye to try and get through everyone's comments tonight, as many as I can. Did Mundo Sporto report that Salah rumour? No way, Stephen. There's no way we'd be putting that out there. Not with linking one of our own players away. No, not a chance. If we're going to go shithousery, well, we did link Gini Wijnaldum away in the summer, but whoops. I'm talking about for massive, massive amounts of money. Would you ever consider bringing Coutinho back, LMA? Not for me personally, mate, not for me, but I could understand why people would say yes or no, but for me it's a no. I always get a margarita from Domino's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You see, that's the thing. I always think you can really judge a pizza place by the margarita. The simplest, the basic ingredients. If they get that shit right, then you know it's a good place. Do you think Salah will win the Golden Boot? Do you know I don't? Do you know I don't, Lewis? I was thinking about this earlier on. And I was looking at the numbers. If Aguero stays fit, do you know what? I think Aguero wins it. If I'm being honest, it's all they're gonna fucking win, by the way, because we're winning the league. But you know, he's on form, isn't he, Aguero? He's banging them in, 2 hat-tricks in recent weeks. I'd hate to be a doom-monger in that sense, but I would worry for Salah for the Golden Boot. But you know what? It's all about the Premier League, and I'm sure Mo Salah thinks the same. As much as he'd like accolades like that, he'd much prefer a league winner's medal around his neck. And you know what? We're still in the Champions League as well, so you never know. Prez said, 2 reasons I don't like Salah. He's back in City for the title and he used to support Everton. Yeah, but he is a legend, mate. I mean, give him that much at least. I mean, that Champions League final, that performance, the man was cramped up to the nines, could barely stand up, and he's still throwing his body around, putting himself in it week after week. I mean, you gotta love Carragher. Carragher drinks and lives in Bootle, said Lee. Nice one. What else we got? Someone pinged the Carragher video over to our Twitter account. For Craig to see. Oh yeah, yes. No, I'll just Google it, Charlene. I'll be able to find it later. We don't need Salah. Are you on drugs? He's our top scorer. Roberto is a Juventus fan, LFC gamer. That's why he was saying we don't need Salah. He meant Juventus. I think the contract for Aaron Ramsey is 4 years, I think, but don't hold me to that. Don Ballon reporting Bobby to Barca or Madrid and Suarez to Man United. Oh my god, that Don Ballon crowd. I mean, they really are the Spanish Mundo Sporto, aren't they? Salah won't leave. I don't think he will either, O-Dog. I think you're spot on there. Salah is selfless. He let Bobby take the penalty against Arsenal. Beautiful gesture, got cool. Absolutely beautiful gesture from Mo. And very well brought up. Ramsey for that money is absolutely ludicrous. Too many variables in moving to a new league and not a great injury record. Jimmy Traore was world class. There you go. Oh, guys, on that, I've got a bit of news for you. Bear with me. I just want to get my notes open. So here we go. So Liverpool FC and Republic of Ireland legends were at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin today to officially launch the charity game in aid of the Sean Cox Rehabilitation Trust. We've spoken about this before on the channel. I know you've all seen it on social media. Everybody, unfortunately, knows the sad story of Sean Cox and that incident, and I'm not going to drag that back up. I just want to let you know the details. So the match will take place on Friday, April the 12th in the beautiful city of Dublin, my home city. The Reds are going to have Sander Westerveld, Jerzy Dudek, Patrick Berger, Vladimir Smicer, Salif Diao, Robbie Fowler, Ian Rush, Glenn Johnson and Djibril Cissé. They're all confirmed to play for Liverpool. On top of that, John Aldridge, Robbie Keane, Jason McAteer and Phil Babb are going to play for both teams. So they're going to play one half, I think, for the Irish team, one half for the Liverpool team. Some more little bits here. The game's at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. It'll kick off at 7:45 p.m. on April 12th. Ticket prices will start at €20 for adults and €10 for under 16s. And a family ticket, which includes 2 adults and 2 children, will be priced at €70. Tickets for the game go on general sale via Ticketmaster on Thursday, February the 14th at 10 a.m. with pre-sales for LFC members, season ticket holders and official LFC supporters clubs taking place beforehand. So, if you're around, in or around the beautiful city of Dublin, or you just want to come over for a visit, what better reason than this fantastic game in aid of a fellow supporter who unfortunately needs our help, needs everybody's help. And the people, you know the story at this point, you don't need me to ram it home to you. Liverpool legends, Republic of Ireland 11, Aviva Stadium in Dublin, in aid of the Sean Cox Rehabilitation Trust. Brilliant cause. I'm going to make sure I get my tickets. I hope you guys are the same. If you aren't coming over, let us know. Love to meet you guys outside, say hello. We're going to buy our damn tickets this time. We could probably get the media ones, but that's not what it's about. We said, myself and Connor had this conversation. We said, look, if we went and got media tickets, we'd just buy tickets and give them away to people, because we feel like this is something we have to contribute to like everybody else. It's an amazing cause. Yes, we've already, of course, done things in other ways, but yeah, I mean, it's so sad, but so happy at the same time that my city and the FAI and Dublin can play some small part in helping the Cox family. I mean, many Dubs have played a lot. I'm stumbling over my words here because I'm not good in these situations. Like you all, it's something that really struck home to me because it could have been any of us. Any single man, woman over there just minding their own business had their life changed in an instant. And I think that's what struck a chord with so many people around the world. The man was minding his own business, was over there supporting the club that he loves in a massive game, and his life and his family's life have unfortunately been changed forever in an instant. So, as I said, April the 12th in Dublin. If you can get over to that, you know, what more do you want? Brilliant cause, brilliant city, lovely stadium. And Connor might even buy you a drink, so there you go. I can almost hear the panic in Connor immediately as I say that. I can hear his wallet screaming, no! Right guys, 45 subscribers to go till we get 8.5k. If you can help us out, please do hit that button. Look at last season. Roma 19 goals, Dybala 12 goals. See, he's already jumping in there. Wait, what? He could smell it, he could hear it. He could hear it. His wallet was screaming and he could hear it. What do you think the score will be between United and PSG? I think both teams will score and United will win. I don't know after that. 2-1 or 3-1. Maybe 3-2. But I think United will win and both teams will score. That's my guess for that one tomorrow. Did you hear about Southampton fan? I did, mocking the death of Salah. I did. Disgusting, Angus. Absolutely sickening. Thankfully, I think the police have taken action there, and rightly so. That leads me into a conversation actually that you spoke about that, and I was listening to a conversation on Sky earlier on about racism and football and all these type of gestures. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Now, hear me through before you come jumping down my throat here, because this is something I never thought I would say. But bear with me. Instances of racism in football. So fans being racist or fans homophobic abuse, physical abuse, anything like that. Do you believe it should always be a lifelong ban? And here's the reason I'm asking this question. I would have immediately jumped and said yes. Racism, homophobia, physical attacks, all of that stuff, immediate lifetime ban from the stadium. But I was listening to a podcast, it was actually the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were saying if you murder somebody in life, you go to prison, 20, 25 years, you come out. You get a second chance at life. As a society, it seems like we're getting to a point where it's one strike and you're out in everything. Now look, I'm not in any way defending racism. You hear me on here week after week, day after day, talking about how there's no place for it in the sport, there's no place for homophobia, religious bigotry, any of that type of stuff. But should everybody be banned for life? For everything? That's what I'm asking about. Would it not be better to ban these people for 5 years, whatever, pick a number, 5 years, and then make them have to re-educate themselves via a program that kick racism at a football starts or something like that. Maybe just educate them to know this isn't, they probably know it already, but make them go through it. Like if you're done drink driving, you have to redo your driver's test, something along those lines. You have to go through and learn and be educated and see how this affects people and see how this hurts people's lives. That got me thinking, guys. It really did. Nobody's saying they shouldn't be banned or anybody shouldn't be banned. Absolutely, ban them all. There's no place for it in the sport, but lifetime, same in social media. You do one wrong thing, for instance, on Twitter, ban, lifetime ban, gone. Facebook, gone. Patreon, gone. Everything seems to be one strike and you're out in life. And I'm somebody that likes to give people a second chance if they show genuine remorse and they're looking to change themselves. And we all have made mistakes. We've all fucked up. You know, you've done it. I've done it many times in life. And I'm probably going to continue to do it. Hell, I've done it enough on here. So it just got me thinking. Is life too much? Is life too much? A life ban for everything? There you go. This is just my thoughts anyway. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it. I'm not God. Everyone has more than one chance, said Oliver Spitz. Thank you, mate. Thank you for your input and thank you for the super chat. Beware of Gooch. He's a mad one. I know him from Twitter. I believe people are caught making racist stuff. They should receive a ban and counselling. Yes, Stephen. Really good show. Educating people in these situations is always a help. Does the club want to be associated with any of that, Craig? Do they need that 40 quid a week once off that moronic person? Yes, from a club's point of view. Yeah, there is that as well, Graham, and I completely understand you. But I would put back to you, Graham, mate, does a club have a role in society as a whole? Specifically in the area that they operate in. So if it's let's say it's a Liverpool fan, for instance, does Liverpool not have a social responsibility to offer this course? Again, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. You should get Streamlabs so people can donate easier. I've never heard of it. Connor probably has. I'm sure once he hears money mentioned, his ears are ringing and he'll jump into the chat there. But same way when we talked about him buying a drink earlier on, immediately his wallet was screaming at him. We do have Patreon. and we've got Kofi, and we've got the stuff on here as well, PayPal. I mean, we've a lot of options if anybody ever does want to donate, buddy. Why did somebody delete Oliver Spitz's super chat? That makes absolutely no sense. Where's that gone? And where's he gone? Why would you delete his comment? I honestly don't understand that. That makes no fucking sense. I read it out anyway, but it's just be careful. Especially it's a super chat and you're deleting his comment. Clubs have the right to admission. It's up to each. Again, Sean, yes, that is absolutely true. It's about changing the perception. Football is a way of living, so that involves more initiatives from the club itself. But sadly nowadays football is a money game, said Gokul. If my missus banged the plumber, then I wouldn't give her a second chance. Yes, Norbert, I get that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I can reply to this one. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, but she gets to go out into life and she gets to live her life anyway. But what you're saying, you're begrudging her so is that the same as the club removing football from? I mean, you could still go to another football club perhaps. I don't know if the ban applies per club, or I suppose you can look at it from that point of view, excuse me. I think it should be a 7-year ban. Then have to do it again. They get banned for life, said Kirby. What ban do you get? A racist gets murdered. Don't tell Columbo. Craig, serious question. What do you think about the pundits sometimes calling players out for being on social media or getting haircuts in their days they used to drink and smoke? I think it's bullshit, LFC Gamer. I do. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. What happened to actual journalism? That's what bugs me. I spoke, as you can see, the tweet that triggered Gary Neville to responding earlier on was basically me saying how funny is it that he's calling out, or he's saying that Manchester City are going to go win the league on Sky. Shock horror, it's almost as if he doesn't want us to win it. Why don't Sky and the journalists spend more time looking into the finances of Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City? That was my point on social media. I thought it was a fair one. I mean, yes, it was a bit salty towards Neville, but it is a fair point. I mean, they put a lot of effort into calling Raheem Sterling out for fucking buying his mother a house. And I'm not saying Sky here, I mean the media in general. As you've said, they talk about players' fucking haircuts. They talk about Lingard dancing. Why not put effort into actually doing some investigative journalism for the likes of football finances and stuff, and actually call the clubs out on that shit? Again, there was a story about a female Sheffield United football player who was charged with racism recently, I believe. And it got a mention, but can you imagine if that was... pick a fucking player, I don't know. If that was Trent Alexander-Arnold, that was done for racism. Or that was Andy Robertson, that was done for racism. Or any player from any club, it doesn't matter, pick one. It'd be a lot of a bigger story, wouldn't it? So I think it's just double standards, and media and journalism as a whole have gone to shit. It really has. I mean, there's new media, which is what we're doing here now. There's Redman TV, United Stand, all that type of stuff, and they can be a little bit more relaxed in what they say. But yeah, I do agree with you. It's bullshit. What makes me laugh? Prisons have free TV, but in hospitals you've got to pay for it. Do you? Do you really have to pay for TV in hospital? I'm lucky enough, Carl, that I haven't been in hospital for a very long time, mate, thankfully. But I did not know that either. Wow, I really do learn something here every day. Anthony Peter said, yeah, ban them and charge them. There you go. Let me just 1 second. Ban them and charge them. I want to see Oliver's super chat, get him back. It said, I'm not God, everyone has more than one chance. So there you go, Johnny Gooch. I didn't delete it. Criminal punishment should be individual victim based. See how the victim is affected. Again, that's a very good shout, Lee. And that could be part of the education process. So if you racially abuse the player, let's just say, the player describes how he felt in that situation and, you know, helps the player. Well, I don't know what the name of that type of therapy is called. Now look, players have more things to be fucking doing. But you think you're trying to get where I'm trying to come from? The word critic has been devalued in the last few years. Bring back Hansen. Prisoners get free education in gym too. So Connor, there you go. I can't believe we had an Elk at one point. Yeah, I can't believe we didn't sign him on a full-time contract. That's one that baffled me. At football, racism illegal. Well, racism is hate speech, so it's against the law everywhere. Regarding the lifetime bans, I think they're extreme, but that's the way things are right now. Clubs want to have zero tolerance, which is great, but the only answer is education, education, education. Bruyne, you're a man, think along the same lines as myself. Yes, you have to put the foot down, and of course, nobody in any way is trying to belittle or devalue the offences here. I'm just asking, is everything in society, whether it be on Twitter, you say one stupid thing and you're hounded. People want people fired for a tweet. They want their lives ruined. So many instances of this. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Sometimes people just say the wrong thing. Sometimes people make a fucking mistake. Yes, there has to be a punishment if that's fitting, but life all the time for everything. Fucking life ban this, run them out of town. Sometimes I think as a society we're just a little bit too nuts. Okay, what else have we got? Basically, it depends on the situation, which is very, very good point. You have to pay for TV in hospital. I didn't know that, honestly. It sounds nuts to me. I can't believe people have to pay for fucking parking in hospitals, and I know they do, and I've known they've always had to, but nuts. TV is not free in the NHS. It's paid for after 4 p.m. Fucking crazy. The course it would go on would have to be a diversity course. However, that should be a court's decision, not the club's responsibility. The club's responsibility is to report it to the police. I never said it was the responsibility, mate. I just said, could they offer it? Because he is a fan of that club. He's probably given that club a lot of money. And the club they don't have to do anything, mate. I get that. The clubs don't have to do anything except open up their doors, make sure people are safe, and do all the stuff that the law puts out that they have to do. But most clubs, if not all clubs, do have charities set up for the communities. They do have diversity staff employed most of the time, staff that understand people's different religious beliefs, staff that can deal with things like autistic kids, different disabilities and stuff like that. So it's just an idea. I met Anelka once, told him we should have kept him, and he smiled. We really should have. I still can't believe we didn't sign him. Can Carragher get a webcam and be on live stream with you? I've asked him loads of times. He's just busy. But he does come on from time to time. It's just been a while since he's last been on. And he does have a webcam, and he does have a microphone, and he does have everything that he needs. But he's just a busy dude. See Ox travel to Marbella. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it, Tomas, that he got to go. Brilliant. I'm so happy that he's coming back. Right, a few more bits and pieces. Oh yes, this is something that caught my eye today again. So we've all had the hassle of trying to get tickets to go and watch the Reds, and we know that the more successful a club, not just Liverpool, the more successful a club becomes, except in the case of Manchester City, the harder it is to get tickets or anything for that club. And I've said this is the first year I've never been able to get a ticket to go and watch Liverpool, and I know many other people who are in the same boat. But something popped up today and caught my eye that has taken this to an entire new level. So, as I said, we've all felt the strain of attempting to get tickets, but now the club's popularity has caused an all-new headache and forced the club to put out a statement on the club's official site. Due to significant demand for our home kit, we're currently out of stock of many of our home kit items. The 18-19 kits have been the most successful in our history. In order to meet this demand, we've placed a further reorder of home shirts, and we're working hard to ensure supporters are able to purchase them as soon as possible. Supporters will be notified as soon as the kit is available to pre-order in mid-February. This led to more rumours about Liverpool looking to increase their kit deal as well. So as soon as this story came out, people were piling on to say that Liverpool were looking to get somewhere around the £75 million mark a year for their next kit deal. And there's one more year left at New Balance, one more season left at New Balance after this season. And the current deal is believed to be around £45 million a year for Liverpool. But they're looking to get somewhere around the £75 million mark. So it got me thinking, Jesus Christ, we've become popular. The club we're always popular, the club have started having more success in the league, start moving up, getting to a Champions League final, attracting in better players. And now all of a sudden, even simple things like shirts are getting sold out. It just does go to show you how success can massively increase revenue for football clubs. And like, no kits. It just doesn't. It sounds mad to me. We're only just over halfway through a season, and there's no fucking home kits. The club have sold out of them. They can't make them quick enough. How nuts is that? I'm sure other clubs have probably suffered similar situations in the past. I remember being in Liverpool last year at one point. Now, it was towards the end of the season. You couldn't get an away kit, I think it was at the time. But here we are in February, and the club are having to release a statement saying that they've got no home kits, or a lot of the home kits in a lot of sizes aren't available, and that they're looking to reorder them, and New Balance basically can't make them quick enough. How nuts is that? It just goes to show we're definitely on the right track as a club. Juventus can't afford Mo Salah, said Sam. I didn't think they could have afforded Cristiano Ronaldo and to pay Aaron Ramsey 400 grand a week either, Sam, but you know, football's gone mad these days. We've gone from the team that used to get mocked for supporting to the team you can't keep up with demand for jerseys, said Pat. Yep, 'tis true. It's crazy. It's crazy. It just goes to show that there is a lot of fair weather fans in the world. Was fair weather fans the right phrase? What's the phrase I'm looking for here? Casual fans? I think casual fans is probably the right phrase for this. That pop in and out, or Liverpool start being successful, so Liverpool start selling more shirts around the world. It makes sense, but I always find things like that a little bit funny. I saw a notification last week. It's mad. After I saw the City game, I managed to get a shirt for me and my sister in an official shop. Luckily, women's shirts were available. Nice. I'd imagine a big number of them are overseas fans as well, said John. Somebody asked whether it was FSG or the previous owners that sacked Rafa from LFC. It was the previous owners. What would you do if Liverpool got Mourinho? I don't know, Roberto, mate. I don't know, and thankfully I'm never going to have to answer that properly, or never going to have to live through that situation. He wanted the job when Rafa got it. It was between the two of them, and he was pissed off he didn't get the job ever since, and that's kind of what sparked his little feud with Liverpool, I think. Racist should have an anal probe, said Kev. I mean, going a different direction there. Craig, have you heard of Dave's LFC chants? He's a classy Irish lad. Yes, Johnny, I have. And yeah, I have. I know who Dave is. He's a Dublin man as well, I believe. I just got the grey kit and Salah on the back, said Press Salah. I didn't say Salah. Oh, you did say Salah on the back. There you go. You can't get a pink jersey in an adult size. Pink? Oh, the keeper shirt you must mean, Ella, is it? Mourinho's never going to manage Liverpool. No, not a hope. Craig, is Mark Goldbridge coming on for the United game? Yes, Angus. He's going to come on after the game, the same as the last time. He's going to come on for a reaction show. So if the game is on a Sunday, I can't remember if it is or not. I think it might be. Then Mark will come on the Monday. So yeah, he'll be on for a reaction show. That is confirmed. Very nice of him to do it. And as far as I'm aware, I'm going to go on there for a preview as well. What do you think of Ole being the manager of United next season? Whatever they think is best, mate. I don't mean that to be a cop-out answer, but if United think he's the man for the job and he keeps doing well, then he's the man for the job. It's it's up to them. It's not really down to us or us Liverpool fans. If you're a United fan, mate, what do you think? The pink keeper jersey. Thank you, Ella. Mane and purple and Salah and grey. I've got the grey one on now, this one, and I have the Champions League badges on it, but I have Naby Keita on my purple shirt. Evening, Craig. Played for the school today and scored a free kick, got an assist. Very proud, as last year it was always problems and never played any sports because I was overweight. Well, you should be proud, Charlie, mate, and keep going. Well done to you. Well done. Get up off your backside. Made yourself a bit lighter by the sounds of it. You're out playing sport and you're banging them in as well, mate. I mean, what more do you want? Well done. Congratulations, Charlie, and I hope it continues. Do you think we should put Moreno on loan? He's gone at the end of the season. His contract is up, so he'll be leaving in June. So we won't need to loan him anywhere, thankfully. We work hard to win the title, just keep going, Reds. Do you think the shirt shortages show how the club are outgrown New Balance? Not sure bigger brands would sell out of stock. Nah, I doubt that's the case. I mean, New Balance are a massive outlet, especially in America. They have, I think it's just a matter of everybody not thinking they were going to sell as many shirts. New Balance can produce them. I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, over in the States, they're probably bigger in America than they are over here. Every time over there on holidays, you can't move. There's New Balance shops fucking everywhere over there. So no, I think it's not that they're outgrown New Balance. I think it's just a boo-boo between the club ordering them in time or giving them enough, what's the word I'm looking for? Enough notice that they need the shirts. No grown men should have a player's name in the back of the jersey. Just my opinion. It's for kids. Greg, fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. I'll wear whatever the fuck I want, pal. I don't tell you what to do with your life. You can go around with your fucking wife's knickers on your head for all I care. And don't tell anybody else what to do, mate. You have your opinion, yeah, great, but whatever. I'll put whatever the fuck I want. If I want to get Greg Duffy's a dickhead on the back of my shirt, then Greg Duffy's a dickhead shall be worn on the back of my shirt next season. So man, whatever. I don't get negativity. Why would you come in and be a miserable fuck and just have a go at people? Like, I mean, get a life, honestly. I wanted Trent Alexander-Arnold 66 on my back, but it came to 450 quid. Yeah, I think, do they still charge per letter? Surely they don't. I think most kids these days, there's just a charge, like a 15 quid charge, isn't there, for a name and number? Recently I found out that Rafa won the Liga twice with Valencia. Did you not know that? Yeah, Rafa done bits in Spain before he came. Yeah, absolutely. And that Valencia team, Ayala, Aymar, fantastic team. The club does limited shirt runs because they change strip every year. Do you remember the years you used to get 2 years out of a kit? The good old days, like. Cater plays well and can get his first goal this season. I hope he does. New Balance designs are too kiddie. I don't know, man. The record shirt sales and stuff. So the home kits are obviously going down well. I think every year they're selling more and more. I'm not a fan of the collar on the home kit personally, but that's just a personal preference. I'm not really a fan of collars on a football shirt, but they're selling. I think we can agree on that one. Man United fans suddenly think Pogba is world class. Lots of Manx going over the top of Ole too. He's doing a good job but won't get the job. Again, I don't know what to say. I don't begrudge anybody liking their players or their manager. I mean, we can banter about them being down in 4th place and all that stuff, but yeah, I mean, leave him to it. If they think he's the man for the job, then he's the man for the job. He relegated Cardiff. Leave him to it. I think one thing we all have to begrudgingly agree on is that he came in and he's done a decent job at this moment in time. He's got them back up in the 4th place. And other than that, we just have to hope that they fall apart completely and we destroy them at Old Trafford. Put my name on your shirt, Craig. Larry Leach, there you go. Nailed on, Larry. Next season, L Leach on the back of it, there you go. £2 a letter. That's I'm fairly sure the club store in particular is not just £10 or £15 for a name and number. Now I know every sports shop varies, but I'm sure it's £10 or £15 for a name and number. Well said, Craig. Tell him to jog on, lad. I've heard that bullshit thing before. Oh, men shouldn't have name and number. Fuck you. You mean every American football shirt you see, people have their name and numbers on the back. Every basketball shirt, people have names and numbers on the back. If people have a favourite player and they want to put the name and number on the back of it, then sound. That's up to them. Nobody really cares what my opinion is or what his opinion is. Just do whatever makes you happy. If it makes you happy in life, go with it. If that involves wearing fucking pyjamas over your suit to work, do it. If that involves wearing a fucking Johnny on your head, do it. I don't care as long as people are happy. Nothing wrong with love, nothing wrong with happiness. More people need to remember that in the world and stop being miserable fucks. I bought myself a shirt this season for Christmas. I like the New Balance design. Only took 8 days to get to Peru. That's pretty impressive, Claire, to be fair. Although I wonder where they shipped it from. Did they ship it from England or was it shipped from the States, Claire? What do you think is the most influence at the start of a game? The players being well up for it and getting the crowd into it, or the crowd being well up for it and getting the players into it? That's a good question, Luke. I'd say the second one. No, sorry, the players. The players being more up for it and getting the crowd into it. But I think they both affect and go hand in hand. It's kind of a chicken and an egg situation, Luke, isn't it? They both affect the other, so it's good. It's mad though how sometimes something as simple as a tackle can be the thing that sparks the crowd into life and a performance into life, or feeling like you got a wrong decision from a referee or something can spark a crowd and the players into life. Craig, what do you think when Firmino does no look shot? Are you a fan, or do you think it's complete arrogance? I'm an absolute fan until the day he misses, Roberto, and then it's time to stop it. But as long as he's knocking him in, looking away, I don't mind. It's just when he misses, that's when he misses because of looking away, that's when it's time to stop. But up until then, there you go. I mean, why not? Let him do it. Craig, my dad watches you and sometimes says you're the only Irishman he's heard talk sense. We're Irish as well, Northern Irish, so keep up the good work, mate. Thank you, and thank you to your dad as well. I don't think I talk sense most of the time, but I'm glad your dad disagrees with me. But thank you, that's really kind of you to say, and your dad, of course. Why are we talking about Sean Crap and Craig here? I don't understand. Oh, I think I figured it out. Are we talking about that gentleman from Canada that has the Liverpool Talk channel, is it? Okay, I'll leave you guys to that one. That's not a conversation for me to get involved in. We beat the Manx 4-1 when Fergie's in his prime. They'd Ronaldo, Tevez and Rooney as well. We can twat them in a few weeks. I hope so, pal. It's going to be tough, though. It's going to be tough. I like wearing Bob the Builder underpants. It makes me happy. Then you do you, Norbert, mate. You wear them Bob the Builder underpants with pride, pal. Charlene reckons we should get Adidas back. Love something like the 10-11 home kit or a yellow and red, grey, or away kit. I'd love Adidas back. I'm not going to even lie a little bit. I'm an Adidas nut job. I'd love Adidas back. I'd love it because you get the old kits and we get to be able to go and buy all the retro kits with Adidas on them, which, as nice as all the retro kits are, it's a little bit more special when you've got the original manufacturer on them. So if we could get the ones with Adidas back on them, that would be sweet. Adidas tried to screw the club in the last deal we had. It's not really true. They were more disrespectful. They just reckoned that we weren't worth the money that we were looking for, and they made that kind of be publicly known. So they were a little bit shitty, without a shadow of a doubt. The only name I've had on a jersey was Sweeney, but I gave it to Steve. But I get Stevie. I mean, yeah, whatever. Get whatever makes you happy. Honestly, I'm not being smart when I say that. Guys, 41 subscribers to go. If you're watching, we're almost at 8,500. We're within spitting distance of 8,500, which is kind of within throwing distance of 10,000, which is our target for the season. So look, if you could do us a massive favour, please do hit that subscribe button and help us take along. I say the end of the season, I actually want to hit 10k before the end of the month, if I'm being honest. I just think we can do it. There's a lot of big games coming up. We've got United, we've got Bayern Munich. I think we can do this. If we all push this on, I think we can get there by the end of this month. But going balls out. I mean, if you don't ask, you don't get. What else have we got? So there's Joanne's comment. New Balance is a couple of miles from me. Good to hear they've got more work. Good stuff, Joanne. They make some kick-ass trainers as well. This is a rumour, no news from the Italian media about the bid. Obviously, I'm not going to have a go with you, Willie, because I don't know if you missed the start of the stream or not, mate. It even said here, it says bullshit rumour on the yoke. It's come from Russia. As I've said at the start, Russia, what's it called? Let me just get it back up for you, pal. In case anybody is in late or they have missed the start of the stream, I don't want to come across like a dick, so bear with me 2 secs. There we go. So Russia today are apparently reporting Juventus are putting together a £197 million bid to lure Mohamed Salah away from the Reds and over to Turin. And they go on to say that the poor form of Paulo Dybala has led them to look at Mohamed Salah as an alternative. That's all. Nobody's saying it's true. Nobody's saying anything other than that's been reported. The VAR refs so bad in football. Yeah, it's going to take a while for that to be sorted out. Why give credence to these bullshit rumours when we're going for the title? I call bullshit rumours all the time. Lol Tierney. All the time. Anyone who watches the stream knows that I have a bullshit rumour every week, and I pull it out and I say, this is my bullshit rumour. Well, that's the bullshit rumour. Is it giving credence to it? None of us are really entertaining it as realistic. I use that as a talking point to ask if players have a value, if every player has a number on them. I don't believe it's true. That's just my opinion, mate. And I don't know if your intention was to say that I'm trying to derail our title bid in some way, shape or form. But again, if you're new, I don't know. But if you watch it regularly, you'll know I'm probably one of the most positive accounts that you'll ever come across on here. I do nothing but say we're going to win the league. I do nothing but believe in the players. So I'll never try and undermine the team. I can assure you of that one. Try to imagine Craig with curly hair. Yeah, you'll never have to, thankfully. Carlsberg beer, said Oliver. On the shirt, yeah, it did look nice on the shirt. I think they're still a club sponsor, I believe. Not on the shirts, obviously, but I do believe they're still involved with the club. I don't like Carlsberg beer, though, personally. If I was to have a beer, it would be Heineken, Corona, or San Miguel. Never been a fan of Carlsberg, but it does look nice on the damn shirts, Oliver. I'll give you that one, pal. Score predictions versus Bayern. For the home game, I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0 for Liverpool in the home game. A clean sheet would be damn nice, though. If we play like we played against the Cherries, then we'll win for sure, said 222 Handy. I only care about 3 points. Rivalry means nothing for the next 12 games for me. That's a good way of looking at it, cool. Yeah, every single damn one of them. Win after win after win is what we're going to need. VAR has looked so much better in Serie A. I've watched a little bit of Serie A, Roberto. The thing that gets me about Serie A is there's a lot of big decisions come in the last 5 minutes. A lot of the time games are quiet, and then everything, all hell breaks loose in the last 5 minutes. Penalty incidents, late corners, red cards. It's just a league that always intrigues me because the last few minutes are nuts. If the title comes down to the final round of the league, Liverpool want Brighton to be fighting for relegation, so they play the fucking hearts out against Manchester City. That's true. And do you know what? Brighton is not an easy place to go. It really isn't. That if they're on it, they're on it down there. And Chris Hughton knows how to drill a team to get a point. So yeah, it's a good shout, Evan. Juventus are paying 400 grand a week for Aaron Ramsey. Imagine the wage bill if they had to add Salah to it plus Ronaldo. I don't like the beer. I missed that. But as we go, where's that comment gone? No, gone past that. There it is, Mark McDonald's comments. Right, there we go. My belief is that if we get at least 7 points from the next 3 games, we'll win the league. It's going to be a difficult 3 games, you're right. I mean, who have we got? United, then Everton away, and who have we got after that? I can't remember offhand. I know we've got United, Everton, and who was it in between? Somebody will let me know. I can't think offhand who the other game is. 12 cup finals to the end of the season, says Ella. Ribena should be the sponsor. Milner will be in all the adverts. Did anybody see that that Paddy Power ad with Rodri Giggs in it? That was Paddy Power, man. They're fucking geniuses when it comes to their marketing. Goal difference got me a little bit scared with City banging in 6. I understand that, especially when the league is so tight at the minute. It's still, for me, a little bit far out to be worrying about goal difference, but look, you do need to keep an eye on it, definitely. What I will say is we've already turned back over a 10-goal deficit at one point. Maybe it was 9, but somewhere in around that. But yeah, look, you do have to keep an eye on it. There's no doubt about that. Fun Craig's died, Chav have it. I mean, somebody's got to, man. Somebody's got the fun my habit for this died Chav stuff. Fucking drink loads of it. Craig, who's the GOAT? Pablo Escobar or El Chapo? Come on, pal. I can't answer that. Both were killers. I can't answer that. I think Coca-Cola as a sponsor would look good on the front or Adidas. Yeah, that is a good shout, Mark. A few people have mentioned that before. I think it's just that red and white combination, pal, isn't it? That does look good on the shirts. Manchester City fans are strange. They sing Sign On and Feed the Scousers. But also sing Hey Jude by Paul McCartney, a Scouser. Look, I don't want to get into the socio-economic circumstances of both cities, but, you know, look a bit closer to home and all that. I mean, and again, why belittle human beings? If they're going to sing, why? I don't get it. It's football. Sing about the team. Say every Liverpool player's shit. Say the manager's shit. Whatever. But to stereotype an entire city and to degrade your fellow human beings, and a city that's very fucking close to you as well. Why? I don't get it. I'd never be that fucking bitter. It's just not in me. Newcastle or Tottenham. Watford at home. Thank you, Cahill. And to everybody else, by the way, because a lot of people have put it in there. That just happened to be the first one that I'd seen. If we do beat United, I would agree. I would agree. Bayern at home, United away, Watford at home, Everton away, Burnley at home. Brilliant. Cool. I mean, big run of games. And in fairness to Manchester City, they had a difficult run of games. And look, they're after coming through with 9 points. We've got the answer now. Shitty fans just want to be us. The whole LA thing at the Etihad is just downright weird. It's just sad, isn't it? It is just sad to an extent. I mean, can't think up your own songs about your own players. Always mentioning us. Just get on with it. I mean, I poke fun at them because just saying that they're shit just to wind them up and trigger them. But I've never, in all the games I've been to, I've heard once Liverpool fans sing about an opposition player once. That's the only time I've ever heard it. And at that, they were saying, John Terry's ma, she loves the Scouts, blank. She loves the Scouts, blank. John Terry's ma, she loves the Scouts, blank. I don't want to put the words in there because I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever heard them mention an opposition player. Spurs at home will be tough. It will, but I still think we'll do them. City going to win all the games from now on? No, they're not. They're not. City aren't going to win all the games. We aren't going to win all of our games. Both teams are going to drop points. Look back to the history of the season. They're not going to do it. It's just not going to be done. They're on a good run. Of course, they deserve respect on the field. Of course they do. But come on, they're not going to win 11 games. They're just not going to do it. They've got so many competitions as well. They've got the League Cup final. They've got the Champions League. They've got the FA Cup. They've got difficult league games. They're going to drop points, as are we. We're both going to drop points. Oh, here's Leonard the gobshite in again. We are, you're not. Brilliant, Leonard. Another fucking piece of literary genius from you there, mate. Your insights are just mwah. Leonard, you're like, I'm going to be fair here and tell you that you're about a gee hair away from being booted off the stream. That's how close. So, you're welcome in. Contribute to the chat. But less of being a dickhead, mate. How tall am I? 5'10", Kirby. I'm no giant and I'm definitely not a Tom Cruise. 5'10". I could say and a half. No, 5'10". 4'3". Yeah. Connor did try to start that rumour at one point, actually. Tell everyone that I was like a tiny little dwarf. You can't stop City. City won't drop any points. Another gobshite. Am I going to have to remind you fools? Look back over the last 10 games. City dropped 12 points. Liverpool dropped 7. I'm looking at facts. You guys are just living in cloud cuckoo land and just stroking Pep's you know what. Be realistic. Both clubs are going to drop points. If you think City aren't going to drop any points, then you're going to be in for one hell of a fucking sad time. You're taller than my dad. He's 5'10". On Arsenal Fan TV, they were saying Leno was better than Alisson. Look, you know my thoughts on that channel. Shit of peace. I mean, rearrange those words, and you've got my thoughts on Arsenal Fan TV. Do you think Adam Rooney should be called up to the Ireland team, even though he's playing National League? I don't know. Is that the same Adam Rooney that was at Aberdeen? That's, excuse my ignorance here, John. Scholes is managing Oldham, Gerrard's managing Rangers, Lampard's managing Derby, Vieira's managing Nice. Who's City's managing? Anyone know where Sean Goder is at this moment in time? Anyone know if he's managing anyone, or Paul Dickoff, or what other legends are there? We need to keep Salah as our attack won't be the same. He's not going anywhere, buddy. I mean, this whole 197 thing is just me with my bullshit rumour of the week saying that Russia today are talking out their backsides. I think we'll draw with United. Oh, we're only 40 subs away. 40 subscribers to go, guys. So please do hit that button. Help us get to 8,500 subscribers, which is our next, I suppose, milestone. Sean Golders managing McDonald's in Skegness. There you go. Thank you for the information, Norbert. I believe that to be true. Most City fans are glory hunters or ex-Chelsea fans, brothers. You forgot that one. I only watch AFTV to laugh at the reactions when they lose. Yeah, they wheel them all out, don't they? Mr. Double Initials with his overreactions, his bullying, his bullshit, and then his running away like a little bitch. Oh, actually, to be fair, it's difficult for him now to get out of Mark Goldbridge's pocket, isn't it? And he has to run around with Goldbridge inside his head all the time as well, so there is that. As a United fan, I'm nervous for tomorrow against PSG. Leo, I honestly think he'll beat them tomorrow. I do. It kills me to say that as well. They've no Cavani. They've got no Neymar. I think get a good start, get an early goal. I think both sides will score, but I think United will leave there with some lead to take over to Paris. Like and subscribe, said Charlene. Craig, do you have a PS4? I do, and I have an Xbox. Well, I don't, my kids do, so there is one in the house, a PS4 and an Xbox One. We all have to start somewhere, don't we? I mean, that's a fair shout, Leonard. If you're talking about your club, then yes, absolutely. And you're building history now, mate. The club, we mightn't like it. I mean, us as Liverpool fans mightn't like it, but you're building history. You're winning titles. You've a good manager in there and a great squad. Yeah, and I've never had any issues with Manchester City until their fans suddenly start coming at us over stuff, which was just madness. But just go about your own business and do what you're doing, and I'm sure you'll have your own players on Sky in a few years. Not that that's the epitome for everybody to end up. I mean, to go and have a great career, win Premier League or Champions League titles just so you can get on to Sky and BT in the future. Craig, we have one petrol we'll never give the boot to. Well, look, Leonard, to be fair, I've looked at his last few comments, and do you know what? He's making sense. I mean, as I said, I give everybody a chance. Well, almost everybody. 38 subs to go. Thank you to whoever those couple of subs were. We can get this. Come on, guys. Hit that button. Can you tell what AFTV vid they mentioned, Alison? Oh, I don't know. So I'm sure somebody in the chat will be able to let you know, mate. Let me just look through my notes. I think I have a few more. Gini Wijnaldum. Where's my notes on him? Gini had something to say. There we go. Gini Wijnaldum believes that the Reds must maintain or even improve their level in order to finally achieve their goal of lifting that Premier League title. He was talking and he said it's always a good response when you win. 3 goals and a clean sheet makes it even better. We must make sure we respond after every game, not just one game. It's difficult competing with City, but we already knew from the beginning that it would be difficult. We have to control our results and performances. We have to give everything in every game, and at the end we'll see where we are. You can see at the beginning of the season we've improved. We just have to keep it going. Good, sensible, realistic talk there from Gini Wijnaldum. We had similar stuff coming out from Andy Robertson, and this is the type of stuff I want our players to be saying. James Milner as well. Just, yeah, we're doing grand. Keep an eye on our own results. We'll chip away at it. We'll see where we are. All we can focus on is our games. That's exactly what you want to be hearing. I have one thing that I've been holding back. One thing that I've been holding back for the end of the stream, because I know people are going to, like me, lose their damn minds when they see it. So I'll let you guys have a chat about this in a minute. Bear with me. Okay, some more comments coming through. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking. There was a super chat came through, and I always have to make sure that I do people the decency of reading out their comments, but there wasn't actually a comment attached to that one. But thank you, Oliver, anyway. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Oliver. And mate, if you want to have a comment around, do put it in. Thank you to everyone that supports the channel, by the way. It really does appreciate it. It makes a difference. I mean, we wanted this channel to be cost neutral because for the first for the first 7 months, we weren't monetized, so everything was just being ran by myself and Connor. But now, thankfully, with the likes of super chats and the little bits of ad revenue we get, we're able to keep taking over, and it means the world to us. And as I keep saying, me and Connor never pull any money out of this channel whatsoever, and we never will. Well, look, if we become fucking true Geordies, of course, if we can make a living in the future, great. But our goal is never to make an income from this channel. It's just to reinvest money, to give away stuff, to travel to games, and just buy stuff to keep the channel improving and taking over. It all started with some of your fans bricked that coach, right? One fan hit the coach with a can of Copperberg. You invented the brick, Leonard, or the media, Manchester Evening News, I believe it was. Now, I could be wrong on that one. Invented the brick and were called out on it. There was no brick. There was a can of Copperberg. And we never heard the end of it. What do you want us to say, man? One fucking fan did that, and you fuckers are never letting it go. Now, let's ignore the fact that you went to Wigan and ripped apart the stadium. And let's ignore the fact that there's videos have emerged of your fans throwing stuff at buses yourself. Every club has dickheads, and I'm not in any way saying that what was done was correct. It wasn't. Players, coaches should be able to come and leave. The atmosphere, great. Bouncing, great. The pyro, great. But come on, Leonard. To be fair, do you not think it's been a little bit too much, mate? We're fucking sick of hearing about that kind of Copperberg, honest to God. But are the rumours true? Please answer. No, absolutely not, Ryan. I'm calling it my bullshit rumour of the week. 197 million for Mo Salah. One, I don't think Juve have the money, nor do most people in the chat. And two, it's coming from Russia, so probably just somebody stirring shit. Conor McGregor question mark. Johnny Buddy, I don't know what that means. UEFA shouldn't let you get away that easy, in my opinion. Away with what? I mean, if you're honestly, Leonard, with all due respect, pal, if you're talking about UEFA letting people away with stuff too easily, you're on very shaky ground, mate. I think you know where I'm coming from here. Very, very shaky ground. The fact you lads are even in the Champions League this year, to me, is a mystery. And not because you didn't qualify. You know where I'm going with this. Do you think Sarri should be sacked? No, I don't. I think everybody at Chelsea needs to take a long, hard look at themselves. The owner, the way the club is being run, the recruitment policy, the players and the manager. Everybody. But they can't keep sacking managers. They can't keep sacking managers time after time after time and ending up in the same place. Something has to give. So I think now seems as good a time as any that they recoup, sit down, look at this. They brought Sarri in. You got to give him a couple of seasons at least. Maybe even more. Let him build a squad. Back him financially. But am I sad it's not working out? No. I mean, despise Chelsea Football Club. Absolutely despise them. So I hope they continue in the Europa League or lower for the next 10 years. Fucking hell, they're still making shit up about that bus thing. I know. It'll be fucking an RPG next. It'll be. Do you remember that RPG that you fired at the Manchester City bus, and the fact that everyone just about survived? I mean, to be fair, mate, I've had worse than me gaff with young lads throwing bricks at the window, trying to wake the daughter up, chipping the windows. Like, I mean, get over it. Bouncing outside the bus, flares gone off, and your players brick it. Let's be real. True, Graham. Fact. And do you know what else? Let's not forget about this. And I'm saying here again, nobody is saying that the bus being hit is okay. But we're all okay with that. The bus being hit wasn't okay. Right. Manchester City played that up for fucking ages. They made sure they went out of their way to say that the atmosphere wasn't going to intimidate them. All of their fans, to a man or fucking lady, were on social media saying that the cops' influence is a myth, that they're not going to be scared going to Anfield, they're not going to be worried, the players aren't going to bottle it. They shit the bed. Just admit it. You shit the bed as a club. You gave it all of that on the build-up to the game. The Manchester Evening News, Pep Guardiola, you were all talking about that you'll handle the pressure, that you've been to the stadium before, you've played league games there, you know what it's like. Europe is a different ball game. Everybody was telling you that. You didn't listen. You came, the bus was hit with a can of Copperberg, not good enough, no excuse. Outside of that, you bottled it. You shit the bed and you bottled it. We went to the Etihad. It still wasn't your fault. It still wasn't your manager's fault. It was everybody else. The referee, everything. You couldn't just take the defeat with good grace. Your club showed themselves up that day, or that over that time, mate. Our fans, some of them acted wrongly, correct. Hold their hands up. But your club as a whole showed zero fucking class in that Champions League tie. In my opinion, zero. They couldn't take the defeat with good grace at all. Not at all. They whinged and they fucking moaned about it, and you were beaten home and away. And to me, that's the truth of it. If you had to put your hands up and say, look, we lost to a better team. Better team won. Best of luck. Couldn't even do that. Couldn't even do that. That's why I lost respect for Manchester City. That's just my tale. That's just my personal opinion. Didn't the River Play fans destroy the Boca Juniors bus with all the players in it? Yeah, something happened last year. I can't remember the ins and outs of the story, so I don't want to, run my mouth off if I don't know what I'm talking about. I do enough of that already with our own club. It would be interesting if City drew Liverpool in the Champions League again. It would, Leonard, it would. And it would be two really, really excellent, entertaining games. Craig, come on, say the name of the German paper. You know you want it. I'm fucking itching to, Kev, I'm not going to lie. Do you remember those Der Spiegel articles? I fucking love saying Der Spiegel. Der Spiegel, Der Spiegel, Der Spiegel. It's my favourite newspaper now. I've never even seen one, except for the online publications. It's not even a newspaper, actually. Der Spiegel. I love saying Der Spiegel. God bless Der Spiegel. Honestly, Liverpool over any other club in London, said Qatari. I thought the atmosphere at their stadium was better. Okay. I heard Barca might want to do a swap deal with Spurs that involves Coutinho and Eriksen. Thoughts? I don't see why Coutinho would take that move, personally, Angus. I mean, I can understand why they'd want Eriksen. He's a very good player, as is Coutinho. And I could understand maybe with Eriksen's contract running down why they'd be interested. But one, Barcelona aren't going to do themselves out of what? How much is Eriksen worth with a year left on his contract? I'm not saying what his market value is, but I'm saying with 1 year left on his contract, what's he worth? 50? 55, 60? Let's even go to 60 million. Barca aren't going to just hand over Coutinho for a player that they could buy for 60 million. They might as well just buy Eriksen and sell Coutinho somewhere else. And Spurs don't have the money to be buying a Coutinho. So I don't think that there's much truth to that rumour. But the Eriksen to Barca thing and the Eriksen to Real Madrid thing definitely has legs. And I know that they were looking at Eriksen from Real Madrid's point of view as an alternative to Eden Hazard. Ref was on your side in both games. See, this is it, mate. This is the type of shit that's embarrassing. How is it our fault that Guardiola got sent off at half time and your manager was in the stands for the second half? How was that our fault? It's mad. I don't get it. Just take it. You're lost. Move on. What else have we got? I was in the front row of the bus welcome. I was shocked seeing the images I saw after the match. Not condoning it, but don't generalise all fans as vandals. Exactly. Same from any club. I try, when I talk about fans being racist, and I try and say I'm not trying to pigeonhole all fans together here. But there are all clubs have terrible fans. Let's be honest, we all have. They're always a very small minority, but sometimes minorities can be loud. And sometimes minorities of people can make themselves noticed, and those who have the least to say can shout the loudest. Yes, Coutinho did play for Pochettino with Espanyol on loan from Inter Milan. I'm aware of that. But still, from a point of view of him, why would he want to go and play for Spurs? It just doesn't seem to make any sense to me. What else we got? What happened to Luis Alberto? He's playing for Lazio, mate. He's over there playing for Lazio now, and he does quite well for them, to be fair. Klopp must be pissed off at the medical staff and Gomez. How could a 4-week injury turn into 4 months? I honestly don't know what's going on there, mate. Obviously it didn't heal properly. They were waiting for it to heal. The bone didn't heal. Now they decided they needed surgery. I don't know who's to blame or if anyone's to blame. Craig's the only one. What's this? Craig is the old saying, mate. Bad workman always blames his tools, and now it's being replaced with poor shitty always blame everyone and everything else. Look, we're the ones that get the chant, and you know the chant I'm talking about, the "it's never our fault" chant. I don't know what to say. I mean, fuck it. let's just push on and talk about this thing that I was saying I wanted to end the stream on. And I think people are going to understand why I left this till the end. But before I do, guys, we're 36 subs away from 8.5k. So if you're watching, you haven't subscribed, please do hit that button. Anyway, look, France Football have announced their top 10 football clubs in history. And this list is pure dog shit, in my opinion. Absolute dog shit. So here's the list, and I'll go through it with you. Never even mind the order that they're in, but I'll do it in order. Number 1, Real Madrid. Number 2, Barcelona. Number 3, Manchester United. Number 4, Bayern Munich. Number 5, Liverpool. Number 6, Juventus. Number 7, Paris Saint-Germain. Number 8, Chelsea. Number 9, Manchester City. Number 10, Arsenal. Now, here's my problem with the list. France Football have announced their top 10 football clubs, and here's the key part, in history. So, how the fuck did Manchester City and Arsenal get on a list ahead of AC Milan, Ajax, Porto, Benfica, even go as far as Celtic and Forest, who all actually won the damn European Cup? AC Milan won the Cup 7 times. 7 times. And they're not on that damn list. 7. That is a disgrace. That is an absolute bullshit list. Look, United should be on there, yes. Madrid, yes. Barca, yes. Munich, yes. Liverpool, yes. Juventus, yes. PSG, not a fucking hope in hell. What have they done to deserve to get on that list? Chelsea are European champions. There's some credence to them being on that list. They've won a European Cup. City and Arsenal, no. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. How can Manchester City, Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain be on that list ahead of AC Milan? A club with 7 European Cups. Ajax. Johan Cruyff. That era at Ajax, come on. Porto. Even Porto have a European Cup. Benfica. Celtic. Forest. It's absolutely ridiculous. Saying City have contributed more means fuck all, Leonard, because you've won fuck all in Europe. How can you be regarded as one of the top 10 clubs in the history? The key here is history, Leonard. You've won fucking nothing. In the grand scheme of things, Manchester City have won nothing. You're great now and you're dominating the English football now. No arguments about that. No one's trying to say you aren't. No one's trying to say you didn't win the league easily last year. No one's trying to say you're not doing really well. But we're talking about history here, mate. We're talking about the history of European football since clubs were founded. Come on. Grand scheme of things, that's ridiculous. You've no place on that list. Arsenal have no place on that list. PSG abso-fucking-lutely have no place on that list. The club was only founded in 1970, whatever it was. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And we're not the only ones talking about this list. That list has been laughed at all around Twitter, all around social media, all around the world at this point. It's a disgrace of a list. And I don't care where anybody is on the list. I mean, you can make arguments for who being wherever. It's just the list itself is a joke. Right, let me get through your comments. And as I said, there was a reason I left that one to the end. Yeah, that list is hilarious. Both Celtic and Rangers have won European titles in the past. What if Shitty won? United stand. I don't know what the fuck that means, mate. Hashtag OTF. United stand. What? I like Mark. I don't know what you're trying to say. AC and Inter are 10 times Manchester City, Chelsea and Arsenal. Look, at least Chelsea have won a European Cup, Mossy. I wouldn't agree with them being on the list either, but I can make an argument for it because they've won a European Cup. I can't make an argument for the others you're talking about there, buddy. It's nuts. Aston Villa, Saguch, Steaua Bucharest have won more European Cups than City. Is it about money? That's it. That's the thing. Like, football and history is about trophies. It's about what you've won. It's about championships. It's about glory. It's not about money. What else have we got here? Dave, how are you, mate? I see you popping in there. Dave's LFC chats. How are you, pal? Marseille are bigger than PSG, said Rob. Ajax won the European Cup 3 times in a row and again in the 90s. Exactly. It's ridiculous, and they're not on that list. Johan Cruyff, one of the best footballers Europe's ever seen, dominating with Ajax and not on the list. Ridiculous. They won the Fairs Cup. Come on. I know you're being factual, Graham. I appreciate that. The list is based on recent results, not decades ago. The key word is in history, though. History. Top 10 football clubs in history. Not the top 10 football clubs in Europe ranked right now. I can make an argument for that. I'd understand that. Manchester City, Chelsea, they've been, well, Chelsea not so much recently, but Manchester City ever present over the last few years. United, absolutely. But come on. In history? Craig, what am I going to do Thursday, Friday and Saturday when you're enjoying your rest? You need it, to be honest, from a United fan. The reason I left it till Thursday, Friday and Saturday to take days off is because the Champions League's tomorrow and I'm going to enjoy that game and I'm going to come on afterwards and hopefully chat to people, and the same on Wednesday. So for those of you that don't know, by the way, I am taking Thursday, Friday and Saturday night off this week, so there won't be any streams on those days. I'm taking a chance to have a bit of a mid-season break for a few days while the Reds aren't playing, so I hope you all understand that. This can be tiring, especially yesterday. Yesterday I did about 4.5 hours with the streams, and then for the day Liverpool played as well, I did about, on Saturday, I think I did about 5.5 hours worth of streams. And believe it or not, I know it's sitting here in a chair talking, but it does take a lot out of you. It really does, especially mentally. Clubs don't deserve football, racism, football trophies, terrible. Pedro still won the Champions League. The list is hilarious, said Claire. What's up, Crod? How are you, pal? Welcome in. Condoms are older than PSG. Perfect comment. Football history only started in 2010. Sorry, Jared, I forgot that, mate. I stand corrected. City have won like 3 Premier Leagues and no Champions Leagues, and they'd 50 years between leagues. Somebody told me that yesterday. I probably sound semi-intelligent there, but that's not my comment. My Google account has more history than City. Look, this isn't just us to take a chance to have a cheap dig at Manchester City here. Manchester City didn't put themselves on that list. I mean, to be fair, France Football made this list. This is Manchester City putting out their own list. It's about the momentum, mate. The list is... do you want me to read out the title to you again? Top 10 clubs in history. In history, mate. In history. Who's the best team in the world now? You'd have to say it was Real Madrid. I mean, they won 3 European Cups in a row. You might say Ronaldo moved on and whatnot, but until somebody else wins the trophy this year and they're still in it, you would. It kills me to say that, but probably fairly say Real Madrid. I mean, they've done 3 European Cups in a row. Hasn't been done in the modern era. It wasn't done until when they did it previously, maybe, or somebody said Ajax did it maybe in the 70s. Charlene, deserved break. October and I will keep following on Twitter. Thank you. I don't know. Even getting through the next few days is going to be tough. I'm mentally exhausted. How can Arsenal and Man City be on the list? They've never won a European Cup. Why aren't the Toffees there? City are minnows in Europe. Binge watch Breaking Bad. That should keep everyone busy this weekend. I've just gone back through and re-binge watched a load of stuff myself, actually. I'm watching a documentary series on Netflix now called Wild Wild Country. I don't know if anybody knows about this. It's about a cult in Idaho. Well, it originally came from India, came to Idaho. It's nuts. In the early 1980s. It's a 6-parter, 6-hour-long episodes. It's gripping stuff, but it's crazy shit. France football put Messi 5th in a Ballon d'Or. Ignore those melons. Yeah, to be fair. Like, I mean, how can you have a list and not have Ronaldo and Messi up near the top of it? It's just ridiculous. And I'm not even a Ronaldo fan, and I still think that that's ridiculous. That list is a load of bollocks. City weren't even a thing 10 years ago. PSG on that list is the biggest joke. It's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. They've won nothing. European-wise, PSG, nothing. Honestly, Craig, Europe's finest have to be given that crown 13 times is incredible. And I'm a Barcelona fan, mate, from a Spanish perspective, but you would have to say that they are. I didn't become a City fan because of their history. I mean, that's fair enough, Leonard. You've every right to support the club for whatever reason that you want, mate. I wouldn't ever tell you what to do in that sense. You admire beautiful, sleek football, and you certainly get that from your Manchester City side. I wouldn't argue against that. How do they rate this? Well, let's put Leicester on top of the list then, said Carl. BBC now reporting that Juventus and Salah link. there you go. I mean, I wonder where they got that one from, actually. It'd be interesting. It's bullshit. It's not going to happen. They haven't got the money, and there's no way Liverpool are selling. Most City fans are plastic, said Lee Newman. Bit of inter-city rivalry there. Anybody else? Any more thoughts before we finish up, guys, on this one and for tonight? A few more comments and then I will call it a night because I'm absolutely shattered. Let me see. Let me check the sub count. Not too bad. We're only 34 away, so we're ticking along nicely. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far, but there's still time to hit that button if you haven't done so. What do you think of the Old Firm? I'm not really into Scottish football, mate. I absolutely despise all the religious bigotry there, though. I don't get it. Don't hate anyone because of religion. I just don't buy into that shit. I love the games. I mean, I love the fact that they're so fierce, but I don't watch Scottish football, really. I would maybe tune in for the odd Old Firm game if there's nothing else on the telly, but it ain't my thing. BBC watches Anfield Agenda. Imagine. Scenes if that were true. My top 5 players in the Premier League right now: Aguero, Salah, Van Dijk, Hazard and Pogba. All smashing players. All very, very good footballers. I always find it so hard to rank people like that. When you're talking about players in a league and stuff, it's tough to do it. It'd be interesting to see who wins Player of the Year this year, if it is going to be Virgil van Dijk, because he's such a great start, and you often find that, don't you, that the awards are voted quite early in the seasons, or well, quite early in the year. I think whether they vote around February or March time, maybe, which might give Van Dijk a good chance. City's success is built on blood money, said Rory Buckley. I support Liverpool, but I still think Man City's the best team in the world right now. That's absolutely up to you, Willie. Everyone to their own, buddy. If they play smashing football, I won't argue otherwise. It'd be silly to. It'd be just bitter for me to say that Manchester City don't play a good style of football. That would be just stupid. They do. And I've often said my problems with Manchester City have got nothing to do with the players and the manager. I have nothing against Pep Guardiola or any of those Manchester City players. Liking the hair, Craig, it's coming along well. It's killing me, Joanne. It's killing me to keep letting it grow, but I'm going to see how far I can go. A lot of list rumours now are just clickbait. More than a lot, Craig. 99.99%, buddy. Thankfully, we're not driven by advert clicks and stuff like that, really, where some websites are under massive pressure to get people to click for ads and stuff. I'd hate to be in that world, I really would. I feel like Liverpool will not sell Salah for any money because he's one of the biggest key players in the team and we'd struggle without him. What's your thoughts? I agree, Ryan, I agree. Especially because he just signed a new deal and the club's going in the right direction. I mean, why would he move on? To Juventus, I mean, I don't mean this to sound disrespectful, but is Juventus a bigger step up than Liverpool? Is it? I don't know. They're winning Serie A titles and nobody can begrudge them that, but on the world stage, they're a very, very big club, but are they a step up from Liverpool? I would say no, but I wouldn't say they're too far behind either. City fan thinks we're going to lose 5-3 on goal difference to Bayern. Oh, fair enough. I mean, wait and see what happens. Craig, do you think Son is better than Hazard? Oh, that's a tough question. I'd rather have Son in my team than Hazard, but I think if both of them played at 100%, Hazard's a better player. But I'd rather have Son. If I'm playing and managing, I'd rather have Heung-min Son, or Heung Sung-min, again, I don't know which way that goes, in my team than Hazard, because I think I could rely on him. I don't think you can rely on Hazard, he's too fucking sulky. I think he's too much of a Mayfainer. Oh, sorry, I should probably, that means self-centered person, sorry. I keep forgetting that not everybody in here is from Ireland. Let's not hammer the French about their list, they'll surrender anyway, said Kev. Shots fired there from Kev. Wijnaldum, the most underrated player in the league. He's a belter, mate, isn't he? What a great player. Keeps progressing, keeps getting better. Every time pressure goes on him from new signings, he steps up his game, and that's all you can ask. France footballer like Chris Sutton to say controversial shit to get people talking about them. It's a good show. It's a good show. Going forward, City have been the best in the last few years in the Premier League. I'm not going to argue with you there, Leonard. I think that's correct. We were great last year, but I'm not going to argue with you. I think you've got that one right. Son suits us perfectly. Would love him at Liverpool. So would I, Brian. I really would. He would be fantastic for us. Do you think Salah will retire at Liverpool or will leave at some point? I think he'll leave at some point. I think he'll probably do 4 or 5 years here and then maybe move on somewhere else. And I wouldn't be grudging me. Hope he stays here through a period of Liverpool success. But again, I think it would be naive of me to say I think he'll retire at Liverpool. Raheem Sterling is a beast. Excellent footballer, Jack. No hay here. I mean, I call it as I see it, and Raheem Sterling is fantastic. Look, I think we could all agree his finishing could be a little better, but other than that, he's most certainly one of the best players in the Premier League. Money Heist is worth a watch. Great TV show. Thank you, Carl. I'll check it out. How many changes do you think Klopp will make for the Munich game? Obviously, enforced Van Dijk. Other than that, I think you will probably see... I'm just thinking about the midfield here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Henderson in there, maybe instead of Keita, but not many after that. I think that could be it, those two. I think Werner would be a good long-term asset alongside Salah and Mane, lots of pace. I think he'd be a brilliant signing, Ryan. And I hope we get him this summer. Do you think we'll play Shaqiri versus Bayern? I don't, LMA, but I'm just guessing, so I wouldn't hold that or put any credence on what I'm saying. It's just a guess. I thought Liverpool played tomorrow. No, we don't play until, when's the next game? The 19th? So tomorrow week or Wednesday week. For 200 million you could buy Insigne and still have 50 million plus left over. For 200 million you could buy Insigne and still have 120 million left over, because he's definitely not worth 150 million. I'm dreading the United game. If we get beat, you'll never hear the end of it. I don't think, as I said, Reece, it seems you're a United fan, mate. I think United will win tomorrow. I think both teams will score and United will win, maybe 2 or 3-1. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a day, if that's okay. What's my plans on Valentine's Day? Absolutely nothing, mate. Nothing. I'm nice to my wife all year round. I don't need to do special stuff on bullshit days made up to make people feel bad. No, not for me. Anyway, look, I'm going to leave it there. Craig's Valentine's Day advice over. Thank you so much, guys, to everyone that joined us tonight. Really appreciate it. Had great fun chatting to you all. Enjoy the rest of your night or day, wherever you are in the world. I'll chat to you tomorrow after the Champions League games. I'll be on here at about 10 o'clock, 10 past 10. Hope to see you then. Until then, look after your loved ones. Tell your loved ones you love them. And up the motherfucking